Okay, here we go with some hints for homework sheet number 10. First question, find the equation of the straight line that passes through these 2 points. Well, we know that we're going to eventually use the formula y minus b equals mx minus a. However, before we get to that formula, we need to know a point AB and we need to know a gradient m. Now the gradient m comes from the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So using this point as x1, y1, using this point as x2, y2, putting those points into that formula, we get a gradient. Similarly, if we use this point as AB, I can then plug this point here in as well for A and B, work it through, and we can get the equation of the straight line. Question 2, standard deviation. First thing we need to do is work out the mean number. So we're going to add these up, and it's without a calculator, guys. And we're going to get the mean number. Then we're going to set our little table up. X bar that you've just worked out, x minus x bar, and then x minus x bar squared. So, using the numbers that we have here, the first number is a 1, so that goes in here. You put your mean number in here, you do a takeaway, and then, oops, I forgot to put a square there, then you square it. And then you do the same with the second one, and so on and so on. Add these numbers up to get your answer here, and then just to finish the question off, what we need to do is we work out the standard deviation by doing the square root of this answer divided by, and because we started with 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, then what we divide by is 4, because we always divide by 1 less. Okay, now this number here should divide by 4, so you just leave your answer as the square root of whatever. Question 3, Pythagoras. We're trying to find the big side, so x squared is going to be 7 squared plus 1 squared. So work that out. When it comes to working out what x is, it's non-calculator, remember, so we're going to get a third inside here, so we need to split that up into square root times square root. Question 4, done a few of these now, remove the brackets. So x times x squared, x cubed, x times 4x, x times negative 12, then 3 times x squared, 3 times 4x, 3 times negative 12, get all these parts here, simplify it, collect the things together for your answer. Question 5. Now, if I wrote question 5 like I've written here on the help sheet, then everybody would be able to do it. However, a couple of people have not understood the question the way it's written in the homework sheet, but it's really just a simultaneous equations question. Okay, and we know how to do simultaneous equations. The way we do simultaneous equations is we're trying to get this number here the same. So that means I'm going to double the bottom equation. So the first equation is going to stay as it is. X plus 2y equals negative 5. The bottom one, 2 times 3x is 6x. Take away 2y equals 26. Now once we've got all of that, because I've got a positive and a negative 2y, then I'm going to do an add overall. Okay, work out what x is, and then work out what y is. Question 6. Now question 6 on the first reading looks a wee bit strange. Okay, however, there's your equation of your straight line, and you've just got to put these numbers in. So I'm going to put 0 in here, and I'm going to put a number bigger than 0 in there. So I might end up with y equals 0x, add, I don't know, let's just go 4, because we've put a number bigger than 4 in. So what does that look like in terms of a diagram? Well, there's your axis. Okay, the number in front of the x, i.e. the 0, that tells you the gradient. Now you should know what a gradient of 0 looks like. This number here at the end, plus 4, that tells you that it goes through 4. So you should be able to draw it now. Question 7. We've got a cylinder. This formula is not given to you, so you need to remember that formula. V equals pi r squared h. What do we know from the picture? We know that the radius is 5, halfway across is 5, and we know the height's 4. So the volume then is going to be pi times 5 squared times 4. Now, the question says that we're not allowed to use pi. The question tells us that we're not to use pi, we have to actually use the number 3.14. So I'm going to replace that by 3.14. Now, non-calculator. So what is 5 squared? Times that by 4. And then whatever that answer is, times your 3.14 by that answer. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Number 8, your quadratics. Okay, I've actually spelled out exactly what you need to do here, guys. So the first thing you need to do is you need to factorise. Right, it says by factorising. So take your 8x minus x squared and factorise it. And how you're going to factorise this is you're going to look for a common factor. Right, so if you look for a common factor, so you'll have something on the outside of the brackets, and then you'll have something inside the brackets. Then you have to put it equal to 0, and then that should then give you what x equals and what x equals. So you'll arrive at these two answers here. This answer, which I think is quite obvious what it is, and this answer. How do you write down the line of symmetry? Well, we know it's halfway between those answers, so we're going to do halfway between these x numbers. How do you get the turning point? You put that number back in to the original, and then that gives you the turning point. Okay, and that's us.